Historic night it's going to be in Asbury Park, New Jersey tonight. It's April 2nd, 2005. The Best of American Super Juniors tournament is underway. Bryan Danielson facing Spanky. I'm Jimmy Bauer, joined by Mark Nolte. I hope that you got through those thunderstorms all right, Mark, because we got quite a tournament on hand tonight.
Boy, the weather's been nasty, but we're going to see our own lightning and thunder tonight in this ring. It's the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson against Spanky. The handshake that you saw a moment ago was not part of the code of honor, but rather the mutual respect these two top-flight athletes have for one another.
There is no code of honor in this Best of American Super Juniors tournament. It is under New Japan rules, as these tournament matches are sanctioned and promoted by New Japan Pro Wrestling and Noki Sports Management and the NWA. The winner of this Best of American Super Juniors tournament will be going to New Japan Pro Wrestling in May to take part in their annual and legendary, historic, you can't give it enough accolades, the top of the Super Juniors tournament.
Right now, it's Spanky going to work on the left arm of Bryan Danielson.
It should be noted that these tournament matches have no bearing on ROH records or ROH title petitions. This is strictly New Japan action we're seeing in the ROH ring, and what an honor it is to have it. And what an honor it is to see Spanky and Bryan Danielson competing against each other for the first time since the very third Ring of Honor show, a night of appreciation. And I can't wait to see what these two pull out tonight. I mean, that match was 3 years ago. Think how far these two have come in those 3 years. They were so good back then, but now they're ring veterans. Now they've achieved international success. Spanky, of course, had that run in WWE. They are both much improved. They were awesome back in the day. Now they are the elite, and now they finally get to hook it up again after all these years.
Greco-Roman knuckle lock. Both men starting out somewhat cautiously and with good reason. Both men lightning quick. Both men can turn one simple mistake into a pinning combination. Now Danielson from behind with the necktie.
This crowd braved terrible driving conditions, terrible thunderstorms, coming to the ghost town known as Asbury Park, New Jersey, in this historic convention center. They are red hot for the start of this tournament, Danielson and Spanky, and I just gotta say that we really have something special on our hands here tonight.
No disrespect to the other competitors in this tournament, but I think you're looking at the crown jewel of the first round.
This could be the crown jewel of the whole tournament. This show, it should be noted, started about 35-40 minutes late, as a lot of the wrestlers were late getting here to the building, as driving conditions are absolutely terrible.
Now Danielson with the reverse Indian deathlock, gyrating, wrenching that knee. The counter from Spanky, the reversal from Spanky, floats up into that side headlock.
I just don't see how this isn't going to be the greatest tournament ever. I mean, what could possibly go wrong in this tournament?
Oh.
The winner of this match will be facing the winner of Black Tiger against Alex Shelley.
As a Boston Red Sox fan, you should know better than to jinx things. But right now, it's the side headlock by Spanky on Bryan Danielson.
The other bracket features James Gibson against Roderick Strong in the first round, with the winner of that one taking on the mysterious Dragon Soldier B as he faces Matt Sydal. So, I mean, when you're dealing with Matt Sydal, when you're dealing with James Gibson, when you're dealing with Roderick Strong, you're guaranteed to see great matches. We don't know what this Dragon Soldier B has in store for us or who he is. Same with Black Tiger. But, I mean, you got to figure we could be looking at a James Gibson versus Bryan Danielson finals. That's what I want to see.
I'm looking forward to the James Gibson-Roderick Strong matchup. Yeah, Roderick Strong's capable of winning this whole thing. And what a great way for him to break out than to emerge victorious in this tournament.
You're right about that. Right now, though, we have a classic in the ring. They had a classic back in 2002 as part of that Heartbreak Gauntlet series back at a Night of Appreciation. That show featuring Eddie Guerrero in the main event, and what an emotional speech by Eddie Guerrero, something I'm very proud to have happened in Ring of Honor. We were a huge part of Eddie Guerrero's comeback, and you can see that all on ROH's third show. Now we're about 55 shows later, around that number, and here we are with Bryan Danielson and Spanky again.
Every time Bryan Danielson has been put into a position to have a classic match, he has delivered.
No doubt, and he is currently embedded in that violent feud against Homicide. They have that best-of-5 series going. But tonight, I think that there's been a little truce called between Danielson and Homicide, as Danielson is focused on this tournament. Homicide is focused on the world title. But, you know, when it comes to Danielson and Homicide, I don't think any kind of truce will be kept by both sides.
But maybe tonight, if we can just get through tonight without Danielson and Homicide winding up in the parking lot, I'll be happy.
Well, Danielson wants to get back to New Japan, so he is focused on this tournament. Of course, Homicide, he's hell-bent on becoming the new Ring of Honor World Champion. But right now, we got Spanky with that leg scissors on Bryan Danielson.
Of course, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, the winner of the Survival of the Fittest competition.
That's right, he proved he can go the distance.
Keep in mind, Bryan Danielson had that incredible 75-minute classic with the current ROH World Champion before he won the title, Austin Aries.
Testing the limit, that's a match for the ages.
In a night where the winner's going to have to wrestle 3 times, where conceivably the winner could have to go 90 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours over the course of the evening. This is going to test the stamina and the heart as well as their ability in the ring.
It looks like Danielson's done with the feeling out process. He's done with the grappling as he just leveled Spanky with that European uppercut. What great fans we have here in New Jersey tonight, braving the weather conditions to be here. Of course, this show was originally scheduled for the Rexplex, and the Rexplex, well, it went out of business, so we are here at the historic Asbury Park Convention Center.
Danielson's showing a little bit of frustration.
Spanky kicking him out of the ring again. That's 2 times.
I like the strategy on Danielson's part, however. I like him trying to take... There's the drop kick, vaulting over the top rope. The body check. Danielson comes over with the sunset flip. Spanky's going to back into the corner. I like the strategy of Danielson early in this match, Jimmy. He's going after the legs. He's trying to take the legs out from under the faster, more adept at the aerial tactics wrestler in Spanky.
Well, one thing you have to be careful of in these first round matches is you do not want to take a lot of punishment. You cannot afford to get a body part injured because you have to wrestle 2 more times if you plan on winning this thing. So you really want to get these first round matches over with in a hurry.
But that's the trick. We've talked about later on, you're going to be seeing James Gibson against Roderick Strong. You're going to be seeing Matt Seidel. You're going to be seeing Alex Shelley. Find me the opponent that you're going to be able to get an easy first round out of.
That is true, as Danielson showing a lot of agility.
Whoa.
That's agility and power mixed into one.
That's a knockout blow.
Danielson now aggressive in the attack.
Do you wonder if the feud with Homicide has made Bryan Danielson more aggressive overall and maybe a little bit more vicious that's going to carry into his other matches, including this tournament?
Well, I think it's obvious that it's brought out a new side in Bryan Danielson. I mean, Danielson's been brawling in parking lots, brawling all over buildings, and yes, it looks like that aggression is carried over to this match against Spanky. And you know, there's a lot of pride between these two. They came up in the business together, and if they were both trained by Shawn Michaels at the Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy, and they both made their names against each other a few years ago. But since that time, they've gone in different directions. Bryan Danielson, a star for New Japan. Spanky, a star in Japan for 01 Max. And now they finally come together in the ring again after all this time. So you know that neither wants to go out the loser. This would actually make huge headlines in Japan if Spanky's able to win this tournament, because that would deal from him going from 0-1 Max over to New Japan, and I don't think those companies really get along.
Absolutely not. That's a great point. What a standing drop kick by the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
That is perfection right there. The international media is here. Dave Marquez from New Japan is here to oversee the tournament. This tournament's going to have huge international ramifications.
Jimmy, let me say something about Bryan Danielson. I must have watched him wrestle 24 times now at least. Why am I still surprised every time I see him at his incredible athletic ability?
More perfection with that surfboard will Spanky give. Shoulders on the mat. Spanky manages to kick out.
Jimmy, I really like the point you made a couple of moments ago about both these men being products of the Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy. How much personal pride there is on the line between these two in addition to this all-important tournament. And I think it's brought out the best in both men. They've raised their game to the next level because of that.
No doubt. And right now, Spanky grabbing for the ropes. Danielson pulls him into the middle of the ring with a 2 count.
Even by Bryan Danielson's standards, Danielson has looked impressive tonight.
Danielson now taking Spanky up by the hair.
Plants him with a European forearm uppercut.
Now Danielson and Spanky did collide in the trios tournament, but that was in a 6-man. This is the first time they've had a singles match in years.
The incredible quickness of Spanky on display.
Spanky definitely using his agility as his advantage, but Danielson cutting him off with that big chop. Reversal. Leg lariat, down goes Danielson.
Oh, buckle up for the ride, kids. This is going to be a great match.
It already is a great match, and I think it could end at any moment the way these two are going at it. Nice traditional back body drop. Simple but effective. Spanky, big boot to the face, cover. 2 count only. Right now it's about who has the best strategy, who can follow up. Spanky, of course, loves to go for slice bread number 2. He puts them all away with that. Danielson head first into the turnbuckle there. I was going to say Danielson will go for the cattle mutilation. He's also been using that Regal plex lately, a suplex that was actually taught to him by Steven Regal. Spanky going for a tornado DDT and dump to the floor. That'll change momentum in a hurry.
Can I make a prediction here, Jimmy?
Go ahead.
Both of these wrestlers know each other so well. Both of these wrestlers are so well scouted and they're so skilled. I think they're going to have to win this match with something other than their pet holds. I think their opponents are both too good and have them too well scouted to use the pet holds to win.
You're right, these two grew up in the business together. Danielson once again to the floor. Spanky the aggressor now, sailing out of the ring with that tope, landing on Danielson, knocking him down, scoring big.
Now Spanky, keep in mind, there's a 20 count on the floor during this match.
New Japan rules, no code of honor. Danielson catches him in a Fujiwara armbar, turns it over in a counter mutilation. Spanky gets the ropes. That was the only thing that could save him. Todd Sinclair calling for the break. There it is.
We talked about the new attitude the newfound aggression of Bryan Danielson. Notice him looking right at Todd Sinclair as Sinclair was counting off that break. He knows he has a count of 5 to break that hold, and he milked that count all the way to 4.
Danielson now concentrating on the arm. Of course, the cattle mutilation does do damage to the arm. The arm is one of the pressure points of cattle mutilation. Look at Spanky there, clutching, fighting for his life.
Spanky's got to go on the defensive here. He's got to create some distance between him and Bryan Danielson so he can recover. Danielson following up on his prey. Stiff kick to the shoulder.
Danielson focused on that arm. He has a strategy in this one. Back suplex. Worst yet for Spanky if he does manage to win this match, and he can't hit slice cover. 2 count, but he can't hit slice bread number 2 to get the win. But if he does win, he's going to have an injured limb for the rest of this tournament.
I have a feeling that every other wrestler that makes it to the next round is also going to have some damage. The competition in this tournament is just too high.
Danielson now has the injured arm hooked with his knee driving into it, and he's pulling back on the other one. Now going to the face of Spanky. Letting go Todd Sinclair. Good job officiating.
Yeah, Todd Sinclair could have called for the break there, but he's going to let the athletes decide it.
Perhaps Danielson knows if he injures the arm of Spanky, that Spanky might not be able to hit slice bread. He might not be able to hook it.
Is it my imagination, or has Danielson got a little bit of a smirk on his face as he continues to apply punishment?
You know he has to be enjoying this. He's back in the ring with his old rival, his old friend Spanky. They only met briefly in that trios tournament. They're finally together one-on-one.
He's going to tie him up in the ropes.
There's that aggression we've seen in the feud versus Homicide.
There's another weapon in Danielson's arsenal that we've seen of late. That's that airplane spin from hell.
Oh, I don't. Someone's going to throw up on him one of these days. Danielson now, another simple and effective move, the hammerlock. I've talked about James Gibson being fundamentally sound in the past. I think Bryan Danielson might even be more so.
Well, what a great match if we see that later on in the tournament.
That would be the finals, and that's what I'm rooting for the finals. Spanky fighting out of it, showing heart, showing courage. Danielson, though, catching him on that Huracanrana attempt. What a unique submission here. He flung him back into a suplex.
Look how smart Spanky is. Spanky knows he's hurt and immediately went to the ropes.
Cover! And you notice how Danielson was leaning forward with that chest on Spanky to add leverage. And Mark, that goes back to what you were saying earlier. They might need some new tricks in that one, and I've never seen Bryan Danielson do that move before. Spanky into the corner.
Of all the great performances that Bryan Danielson has delivered in ROH, this has got to rank way up there. He is on his game tonight.
A heck of an effort so far from Spanky as he goes up and over using his agility once again. Again going to his speed and agility. Danielson cuts him off. And he's calling for it, Mark. Did you count, Mark?
37 seconds by my unofficial clock.
Wow. And now Danielson has the bearings to climb to the top rope.
Yeah, but does he know which way to fall or leap?
I don't know. He soars, though. Spanky with enough presence to move. You can tell that airplane spin took a lot out of both men.
But look at Spanky. Spanky's going to follow up. Spanky's going to go to the top rope.
Danielson moves. Both men might get counted down here.
And to think the winner of this match is going to have to wrestle at least one more time, probably twice.
Roy elbow misses, super kick. Slice bread. Somehow Danielson kicked out. Maybe Spanky didn't do enough punishment, like we saw against Alex Shelley in Boston. Frog splash connects.
Jimmy, how many times have you seen somebody kick out of the sliced bread number 2?
Great effort from Danielson. Danielson now coming up with the legs of Spanky. Spanky did not do a lot of damage though before he hit that sliced bread. That might have been the deciding factor. As we have a sharpshooter.
Is this going to be enough? Danielson attacked those legs early in the match, then later on with the cattle mutilation went through the shoulder. Spanky counters. Danielson continues to roll through with it. Spanky's going to have to get to the ropes at some point or concede.
Oh, look at that, Danielson dragging him in, but Spanky manages to turn around. Spanky's gonna watch his shoulders here. Danielson turns it over one more time.
And that's what Spanky really wanted. He wanted to change the position in the ring where he could get to the ropes. Great counter wrestling by Spanky to escape.
Danielson now behind Spanky. He's looking to finish him off. Clubbing forearm to the back.
Backdrop from all the way from the top rope.
Cover! Spanky somehow kicks out, but Danielson has counter mutilation hooked. And look at Spanky, he knew how to get out of it. He rolls him up.
That is a 2 7/8.
Spanky gets the boot up. He's going for sliced bread again. No way Danielson will survive it. Danielson plants him on the top, counters it. He might be going for another back suplex from the top. Spanky's going for sliced bread. This is how he won out a night of appreciation. No, doesn't get it. Roaring elbow connects this time. The Regal Plex.
Two of the very best in the world to lock horns with the ROH World title on the line as the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, returns to ROH competition against James Gibson. Joining me at this time once again on commentary, Jimmy Bow.
Oh, you know that I had to be in the broadcast booth for this match. You said it correctly, two of the very best in the world. And what a great sight seeing Bryan Danielson back in the ROH ring, shaking hands, because don't forget, last time we saw him, he refused the handshake, and he walked out of Ring of Honor. That being nowhere to run in May. Since that time, he went to Europe got his head together, he's back, he's clean cut looking, he's got his head on straight, and he wants that ROH World title.
He regained his focus, he learned to use a big disposable, and he's back here in fighting shape, going after the title once again.
A lot of people are questioning why is Bryan Danielson getting this world title shot tonight. Well, simply put, he is one of ROH's founding fathers. He has been in some of Ring of Honor's greatest matches. He has defeated all the big names in Ring of Honor. He deserves a world title match. And most importantly, Bryan Danielson said the only way he was coming back to Ring of Honor was to get his shot at the world title. That is all he wants to do in Ring of Honor right now as he twists that arm of James Gibson.
Of course, his last title shot against Austin Aries, who dropped the title to CM Punk, and James Gibson winning that championship from CM Punk in Dayton, Ohio at Redemption. And now it's Bryan Danielson returning after a hiatus to go after the championship, this time around the waist of James Gibson.
Danielson has even gone so far as to say that there's really no reason for him to be in ROH unless he is world champion. So he is focused on that belt. James Gibson, on the other hand, is in ROH on borrowed time as we see Danielson trying to reverse out of that.
Bridges back, holding onto the wrist lock is Gibson. Saw Danielson going for the drop kick and got out of harm's way using his brains on that exchange.
As I mentioned, James Gibson on borrowed time here in Ring of Honor. He is heading back to WWE, but not until he loses the Ring of Honor World title. As you hear this crowd now come up, what an atmosphere we have here in Long Island.
Now, after he won that championship, James Gibson let the entire locker room, as well as all the fans, know just how much it means to him to represent Ring of Honor as the top wrestler in the world. And he is going to be a fighting champion.
He really doesn't even have to be here tonight. I mean, he could have left Ring of Honor. He has a nice cushy contract with WWE, but he is here because the Ring of Honor World title means that much to him, because he has that much pride in what the Ring of Honor World title means. He wants to be a great Ring of Honor champion, as you see Gibson trying to crossface there, or Danielson trying to crossface Gibson right there, Gibson trying to fight out of it.
Gibson has said that he felt that his career was rejuvenated by coming to Ring of Honor and going at it with some of the very best in the business and really upping his game as of late. And he's really gotten a chance to show what he can do as a wrestler. Lengthy matches and very memorable matches. Many consider him to be the MVP of 2005 here in Ring of Honor.
No limitations, and let's see if we get a clean break here. Yes, we do, although I don't know whether our viewer of Danielson intended to chop Gibson, and Gibson managed to turn that shoulder towards Danielson in an attempt to block the chop, and Danielson might have pulled back there.
But we did get a clean break, and we have a handshake in the center of the ring. Two sportsmen going at it, and two crowd favorites here in ROH.
James Gibson says he plans to be in Ring of Honor for a long time and defend that belt with pride. We've seen him take it to FIP in that class against Roderick Strong. Dragon Gate Invasion, 30 minutes against Colt Cabana, classic title match there. He defended against his best friend Spanky, and in a three-way match against Homicide and Spanky at Night of the Grudges 2. He has been a fighting champion, an honorable champion, and he wants that to continue forever.
Danielson able to take Gibson off of his feet with that shoulder tackle. Gibson trying to shake it off, gets back to a standing position.
James Gibson is a guy that's overcome all the odds. He never quits, whether it's CM Punk busting him open, making him bleed all over the place. Gibson still fighting back to win the world title. This is a guy with no quit in him whatsoever.
Of course, back at the Best of the American Super Juniors tournament, he wouldn't give it up despite a back injury sustained early in the tournament. It took his friend Spanky throwing in the towel to cause him to be eliminated from that tournament.
And you see what the world title means to these individuals. Just the fact that James Gibson has committed to Ring of Honor to stay here as long as he is champion. The fact that Spanky ruined his friendship with James Gibson and turned on him to get a title shot before Spanky left for WWE. I mean, that's what it means to be Ring of Honor world champion. People sacrifice their bodies, their friendships, whatever it takes, even money, to be here. Gibson does not have to be here right now, but he wants to be a fighting champion as he fights out into a headlock on rings.
And Bryan Danielson was willing to jeopardize regularly working for the company unless he has a chance to be the champion. It doesn't matter to Bryan Danielson to wrestle on all the shows. He wants that title around his waist.
It's not about money, as there you see Danielson connecting with the dropkick this time, which of course he missed earlier in the match.
Going for the knee drop, and he connects with it. Bryan Danielson in control. Snapmare takes James Gibson down to the canvas. Crucifixes the arms into a pin. Attempt only 2.
Ring of Honor head referee Todd Sinclair right on top of the action. Danielson looking for new ways to stretch Gibson. Gibson on the defensive right now. Simply put, we've said it before, these are two of the best in the world competing for the richest prize in professional wrestling.
Has that arm basically in hammerlock position, trying to force the shoulder down. Sinclair right on top of the action.
Bryan Danielson, who knows where his head was at earlier in the year. He was embedded in that feud against Homicide and the Rottweilers. He was going for count mutilation early.
Yeah, and as soon as Gibson realized that, he got his legs into the bottom rope to break up the attempt. And he must release the arms, and out to the floor goes Gibson. Try to regroup.
Gibson rethinking his strategy. Of course, Gibson loves to go for that tiger driver, the front guillotine choke. Danielson, you have to watch out for the dragon suplex, the regalplex, cattle mutilation. Danielson just has so many weapons.
Of course, he's been utilizing the airplane spin quite a bit in the past year or so.
Who will ever forget that airplane spin at the final showdown, the steel cage match against Homicide, the longest airplane spin in wrestling history.
Most devastating airplane spin, and was able to earn him the victory in that contest. As Gibson back inside the ring, he's collected his thoughts a little bit, maybe changed up his strategy, as they're going for the Greco-Roman knuckle lock here. Chest to chest they go, down to one knee. Danielson powers Gibson back to a standing position. Trying to get the advantage as Danielson backs Gibson up against the ropes. Looking for the monkey flip, holding on to the knuckle lock still. Both men back to their feet, and Gibson gets the Northern Light suplex, still holding on to the knuckle lock, gets a near fall, still their fingers interlaced. Back to back they go. Danielson lands on his feet, sends Gibson into the ropes. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker right over the knee. Nicely done by Danielson. Gibson in a world of hurt after that backbreaker. Being very appreciative of the skill of both of these men.
And you notice Danielson not giving Gibson any time to breathe or leave the ring again. Danielson staying on the offensive, drops another beautiful knee.
He's effectively utilized the knee drop thus far in the match. And now putting pressure on the side of the head of Gibson with that knee.
And he is just driving that knee into the face of Gibson.
Nowhere for Gibson to go. Right as he tried to work out of that position, Danielson grabbed hold of the head. Keeping control of his opponent here.
That is what the opening minutes of this match have been all about, is control.
And Danielson in command right now, as Gibson at a seated position. His arms clasped around the head. Danielson back to his feet, Gibson as well. Looking to send Danielson off. Breaks free of the hold. Step over by Danielson. And pulls him right down to the canvas, does Gibson. Trying to shake off the effects, nurse that back injury.
Of course, this match does have a 60-minute time limit, and both these athletes working at a very methodical pace. So that 60-minute time limit could come into play.
They know they have 60 minutes to play with in this matchup, and they both, no stranger to lengthy matches. And they know how important a match like this is.
The match where James Gibson won the world title at Redemption against CM Punk, that four-way that also included Christopher Daniels and Samoa Joe, that went over 50 minutes. And Gibson's last couple of title defenses were in the 30-minute range.
Drives the elbow down onto the challenger. Lateral press by Gibson. Only gets 2.
Now the question is, what will happen to the loser of this match? Could this be Bryan Danielson's last match if he does not win the world title?
If he's so focused on winning the championship, it could very well be his last match. I wouldn't be surprised to see him walk out again.
I don't think he wants to be here without the world title. James Gibson, on the other hand, he will be at Survival of the Fittest next week in Boston, and if he is still champion, he will defend it against Christopher Daniels in the qualifying match. But after that, that would be it for James Gibson, probably.
Seated abdominal stretch here applied by Gibson. Right in the center of the ring, nowhere near the ropes for Danielson to break it. He needs to work his way out of the hold.
This is simply a wear-down hold by Gibson. He's trying to cause cause frustration to Bryan Danielson.
Back to his feet, hip tosses his way out of it. Goes to drop the elbow, but Gibson moves out of the way. Hesitates on the second elbow drop and connects with the European uppercut.
And that is sharp wrestling by Danielson as he's able to stop himself from dropping either elbow. Gibson probably thought he was on his way to the canvas, and instead, Danielson put on the brakes and hit Gibson with that European uppercut.
Connects with another elbow.
Both these men definitely in great condition. Danielson, it's great, definitely has his head clear after everything earlier in the year.
He's in phenomenal physical shape as well. Jockeying for position. Oh, he suplexes him all the way to the floor.
That could be a turning point right there. That is very similar to the Austin Aries match and nowhere to run. Danielson falling hard to the floor in that match, but it was a turning point in that match.
Knee strike off the apron. Connects with the side of the head of Danielson.
Gibson now getting aggressive too. He is not going to give Danielson any chance to recuperate. Both these men know how good their opponents are. They know that they have to stay on the offensive if they get a chance.
Hard chop across the chest of the American Dragon. Gibson in control. Sends Danielson into the barricade once again. Danielson feeling the effects.
Gibson making use of the environment around him, using those guardrails, that steel plate on the guardrail, slamming Danielson into it.
Elevates Danielson and drops him right on the edge of the barricade.
That's rib first right there. That'll make it difficult for Danielson to breathe. And of course, if you're in a front guillotine choke, it's already hard enough to breathe.
Goes down across the chest. And pitches Danielson back inside the ring.
Very smart wrestling from the ROH World Champion, James Gibson. Getting aggressive, taking advantage of Danielson on the floor, but then throwing him into the ring because you cannot win on the floor.
Drives the shoulder into the midsection of Danielson. And again.
He seems focused on that midsection, the rib cage right now. Instead, let's see what's he going for here.
Right into the buckle, hard, sends Danielson all the way down to the canvas. Now it's Gibson getting very methodical, being very smart here.
Perhaps both men being methodical so as not to make a mistake.
No, it's all on the line. You know, if Danielson, as I said, it could be his last match if he comes up unsuccessful tonight in his quest to win the ROH title. And Gibson just wanting to defend that championship. We know how much it means to James Gibson to represent Ring of Honor. And he wants to continue that reign as long as possible.
When you look at it, Danielson's basically spent every moment from May 14th at Nowhere to Run to now training for this title shot.
Working his way back to his feet. He's got Gibson up on his shoulders.
I thought we might have seen an airplane spin.
Gibson, I'm sure he saw that coming as well. Was able to use his leverage, drives the back of the neck across the knee and gets a near fall to follow up. Quick leg drop with great force down across the throat.
That extra velocity adds extra force, and that's extra impact and more pain.
Has him backed into the corner here. Danielson trying to fight his way out. Forearm connects with Gibson. He fires back on Danielson. Down he goes.
Danielson might be knocked out. All it takes is one of those forearm strikes to knock a man out. Gibson a little slow to follow up, although now he comes in.
He connects with another forearm. Hangs him up in the corner. And out to the apron goes Gibson. Wrapping the legs around the head.
This is an illegal hold right here.
Utilizing the ropes, referee applying the count.
And now Gibson getting very aggressive, working on the neck of Bryan Danielson.
He knows that Bryan Danielson is a threat to the world title. He's going to do whatever it takes to soften him up, even if it's just 4.5 seconds on a hold like that. Drives the elbow down across the chin and across the edge of the ring as well.
Dragon ain't going nowhere! Finish him, Jamie!
Gibson getting very aggressive here, letting that anger take control, using that anger to his advantage to give him motivation to work on Danielson even harder.
Pounding away on Danielson in the corner now. Gibson with the chop. Next with another forearm. Dragon fights back.
He's had enough.
Chop across the chest. Kick to the midsection by Gibson, but Danielson with the chop. Back and forth they go.
The intensity is picking up in both these athletes.
Bryan Danielson sent to the corner, uses the ropes. Backflips his way out of harm's way, connects with the kick. And Danielson in control now. He's got Gibson down. Great agility shown by Danielson, borrowing a page out of the Tiger Mask playbook.
Danielson can do it all. He proved he can brawl versus Homicide. We've seen him out wrestle the best. We've seen him do lucha libre, Japanese style. Any style Danielson can do it, including those European uppercuts.
Pulls him into the center of the ring, another European uppercut. Down goes Gibson. Grabbing hold of the leg of Danielson. He has Gibson back to his feet, set into the corner hard. Danielson comes charging. Running forearm strike. Pulls him out of the corner. Vertical suplex. Slingshot suplex. Right into a cover. Gets his shoulder off.
Tully Blanchard would have been proud of that one. A new trick from Bryan Danielson.
Now pulls him again to the center of the ring. Likes to use the surfboard.
And it looks like that's what he's going for.
If he can grab hold of the arms of Gibson. Gibson knows it's coming, trying to fight it off. Trying to keep that arm out of Danielson's reach. Drives the knees of Gibson down into the ring.
Danielson countering Gibson's counter right there. Simple and effective move, driving those knees into the mat.
He's like, you're going to give me your arms or you're going to pay the price on your knees. He's going to be the victim of a surfboard before too long. Bryan Danielson is determined. And here we go. Rolls back and elevates Gibson. Pressure put on so many body parts.
Gibson saves himself and reaches the ropes.
But the hold did do damage to him.
That pulls at the shoulder joints, the elbow joints, the knees. Ligaments are stretched in the surfboard.
And of course, those shoulder joints key for Bryan Danielson as he likes to utilize the cattle mutilation to get a victory.
This crowd split between Danielson and Gibson as we got an airplane spin.
He's got him up.
Could we see more rotations than he did against Homicide?
Around and around he goes, taking the equilibrium away from James Gibson. And the fans counting along.
And Danielson letting go of Gibson before he loses his bearings, it looks like. Let's see if he can come off the top rope here. Or is he too dizzy?
Likes to follow it up with the top rope headbutt if he can get his balance.
Having a little bit of trouble up there. He looks like he's set.
The dragon soars, but nobody home. It took too much time for him to regain his equilibrium and get that balance to connect with the headbutt, and Gibson was able to move out of the way.
What ring presence by Gibson to move out of the way. And he's got him down! Bridge!
Oh, so close right there to the match coming to a conclusion. Only two.
It is no exaggeration to see that you are watching two of the best wrestlers in the world go at it for the ROH World title. Front guillotine choke!
Right in the middle of the ring, too. Todd Sinclair getting in there.
Danielson's got nowhere to go. And what?
He's trying to power his way out of it.
No way.
Overhead with the suplex. What a counter.
What strength, what conditioning. That looks like a simple move to you people sitting at home, but that took unbelievable strength and conditioning particularly in Danielson's legs, to be able to flip Gibson over like that.
Time off from ROH, training for his next opportunity to go after the world title pays off. As Bryan Danielson back to his feet, and so is Gibson, comes roaring. Gibson ducks. Tiger driver.
It's all over Gibson.
Danielson trying to block. Again the strength shown. And drives down onto the chest of Gibson. Up top once again goes Danielson. And he hits the headbutt.
Second time's a charm.
Cover. No, Gibson able to kick out. Danielson made that early attempt to go for cattle mutilation in the opening moments of the match. He has Gibson softened up. Will he go for it again here? Looking to finish him off and earn the championship. Going for the dragon suplex, it looks like. Full Nelson broken. Waist lock. Standing switch. Up on the shoulders of Gibson.
A victory roll, no! To the floor!
All the way to the floor. Danielson holding on to the top rope. Skins the cat, brings himself back in.
Oh, effortlessly too.
Another testament to the conditioning of Bryan Danielson. Just waiting for Gibson to get back to his feet. Out on the floor. Danielson hits the ropes. And comes soaring. Putting his body on the line in the quest of becoming ROH World Champ.
Come on.
He scored big with that tope. Both men on the floor. Of course, there are no countouts here in ROH, but if you're out there for too long, the ref can DQ you. And we have seen that happen in recent times, particularly in the low-key Jay Lethal feud.
Look at that look of determination on the face of Danielson as he chops away at the chest of Gibson. Sending him into the guardrail. Up and over he goes, right into the front row.
Gibson used those guardrails earlier, and now Danielson is getting some retribution. Danielson removing that steel plate there, exposing the guardrail.
Wrapping his arm around the guardrail to do damage to that body part, kicking away at the arm.
Oh, now it's forcing that arm right on that steel. Nowhere for that arm to go. All impact there.
And drives it down across his shoulder. Danielson very focused and singling out that body part, the arm of James Gibson, leaving him susceptible to cattle mutilation.
The cattle mutilation does a lot of damage to the arm, but I don't think James Gibson would ever tap away the world title, though. James Gibson never says quit. We saw James Gibson survive the best that CM Punk had to offer, bleeding on 2 occasions, still coming back to fight for that world title. And the only way Punk beat him the one time was by using the ropes. The second time, despite major blood loss, Gibson winning the world title. This is not an individual that quits.
He's got Gibson back inside the ring. Danielson up top. Missile drop kick connects right to the arm.
Yes, you notice that. Pinpoint accuracy on the arm of James Gibson.
And the crowd showing their approval and their appreciation for the American Dragon.
And at the same time, if Gibson, we got a cover here.
Way close to the ropes. Not even having to use the ropes to save himself. Able to kick out. But favoring that arm. Holding it close to his body.
If Gibson's arm is weakened, and it definitely is, he might not be able to use that front guillotine choke or the tiger driver.
He definitely has to use the arm to execute both of those.
And there you see Gibson, Danielson, a master of leverage right there.
Had that arm trapped, drove down to the canvas almost like a divorce court. Into a cover. Now he gets his shoulder up, forces the shoulder back down, kicks out this time. Again Danielson with the cover. Making Gibson have to fight to get his shoulder up. Several near falls, takes him over.
Danielson making Gibson work there, not giving him a moment to rest. Each one of those kickouts taking a little bit of energy away from James Gibson. We know that Gibson can go the distance, though. We've seen in his recent title defenses, particularly against Colt Cabana at Dragon Gate Invasion.
Let's hear it for James Gibson.
Danielson getting a little aggressive, maybe a little frustrated at this point. Maybe he's letting that anger and frustration come out, using it to fuel him.
Well, we saw Gibson doing the very same thing earlier. Using his own frustration to his advantage.
You can use that to fuel yourself. Danielson simply stomping away on the arm right there. Now look at...
Staying on that arm, tying it up, putting more pressure on that body part. Of course, Gibson, no stranger to the long matches. Danielson has had several in his ROH career.
Well, I got to point out right here, look how perfectly Danielson is working on that arm, as he is exploiting every single joint on that arm, from the wrist to the elbow to the shoulder. He has leverage on all of those joints. Gibson trying to come out of the hole now, he is.
And he had that right in the middle of the ring as well. Sends Danielson off, shoulder tackle, down goes Gibson, back to his feet, right back to the arm goes Danielson. Gibson sends him off, shoulder tackle, takes him down, goes after the arm again. Gibson again sends him into the ropes, shoulder tackle, down he goes, back up, back to the arm. But he gets him up on his shoulder and takes him down with the Samoan drop.
That's exactly what James Gibson needed at that point.
Every single time Danielson kept going back to the arm, every single time that he grabbed his arm, Gibson was able to send him into the ropes to try to keep him away from that body part. These two men so gifted. And it's so gifted that these fans don't know who to cheer for.
What a tremendous atmosphere. Northern Light suplex.
Rolls all the way back, going after that arm.
And Gibson clasping those fists together for dear life. And hold on, what's he doing? Gibson giving up the arm. But he's got the legs of Danielson.
He turns it right around on Bryan Danielson, the victim.
An absolute genius reversal from James Gibson.
Danielson trying to inch his way toward the ropes as Gibson holds on to the legs.
And you see the pain on Bryan Danielson's face. He saved himself by reaching those ropes. The ball is back in James Gibson's court, though. Let's see if he can follow up. But you know that he is in a world of pain, particularly that arm.
Oh, he's basically a one-armed man in this contest. But he does have Bryan Danielson weakened, face down on the canvas. Both men feeling the effects of this battle.
Gibson trying to rub that arm, get some feeling back going into it. Ease the pain a little bit.
Danielson side of the ropes. Gibson counters. He's got him tombstone piledriver positioning. Gibson trying to fight out of it. Trying to use his own leverage to block it. He does. He's got Danielson up now.
What another great reversal.
Tombstone piledriver.
Wow.
He's got Danielson laid out, opting not to go for the cover. Instead, all the way up top goes the champion. Leg drop off the top. Cover. No. Dragon kicks out.
Front guillotine choke in the middle of the ring.
Sinclair into position. Checking on Danielson.
And look at, once again, the great conditioning of Bryan Danielson.
Powers his way back to his feet. Drives the back of Gibson into the turnbuckles twice.
You know, you have to wonder if that arm wasn't hurt, if this would have been the end of the match.
Swinging DDT. Butterflying the arms. Tiger driver.
That's it. A beautiful combination from James Gibson and a heroic kick out from Bryan Danielson.
These two giving it all they got for the ROH World title.
Gibson now pulling out all the big moves. We've seen the front guillotine choke, perhaps rendered ineffective by the injured arm. The Tiger driver, Gibson has to be wondering what's it going to take at this point.
These two men showing the fans what the game of human chess is all about.
And Gibson looks like he's in control, but he's got to be wondering, what do I got to do next?
Oh, he's contemplating exactly what his next move should be. Drives the knee into the side of the head of the challenger twice. Make it 3 times, this time with the boot. Off the ropes comes Gibson. Another knee strike, but Danielson getting all fired up.
And you look at that, he gets the adrenaline going, but Danielson's still feeling pain.
Trying to shake off the effects, absorbs the chop. Goes to the eyes of Danielson. Gibson off the ropes, comes roaring with the forearm strike.
I'm surprised to see Gibson use that thumb to the eyes. That was desperation.
Danielson now with Gibson, pulling him back up. Maybe looking for the dragon suplex here. Breaks the full Nelson. Drop kick to the lower back, sends Gibson into the turnbuckle. Dragon suplex, bridge. Only two. Holding onto the arms, looking for cattle mutilation.
He's got it.
Cattle mutilation cinched in. Will Gibson tap?
And look at Gibson pushing himself forward, getting out of the hold. Another brilliant reversal by Gibson. He's still got his hands locked in though, his arms locked in. Tiger suplex for him too.
Still holding onto those arms, maybe looking for cattle mutilation again. No, Gibson works his way back to his feet.
Now Danielson, Gibson's on top.
Uses the turnbuckles for leverage, kicks his way out of that into a cover, and gets a near fall. Danielson back to the arms once again. Gibson trying to use the turnbuckles again.
Danielson tenacious, going for that cattle mutilation one more time. And what's this? He just turned it over, cross-face chicken wing. I didn't see that coming.
Wraps his legs around the body of Gibson. Right in the middle of the ring, cross-face chicken wing.
That's all pain right on that arm of Gibson. Gibson tapped!
Bryan Danielson has won the title!
To a man who didn't have to fight here in ROH because he signed a WWE contract. But he came in here, hey, if you call what he just did in this ring a sellout, by damn, I'm a sellout too. So if everybody would, please give James Gibson a round of applause. dreams go to the WWE, to go to TNA. And you know what, that's okay, because you need to make a living in this job. But there are reasons why I became a professional wrestler, and that's not so I can be subjected to the man. It's so I can have freedom, and this title represents wrestling freedom. So as long as I remain ROH champion, I will not go to WWE. I will not go to TNA. I will stay here and defend this championship like a man. Thank everybody in this building for the support. I hope you guys enjoy AJ Styles kicking the crap out of Jimmy Ray.
Not only will this be a title for title match, but it also will be a title unification bout between Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness. It will be held under pure title rules. There will be a title change, a first one of 2006. Nigel McGuinness and Bryan Danielson put their championship gold on the line. One man walks out with both.
Look at the people I've beaten. Jay Lethal, Claudio Castagnoli, Samoa Joe, the tag team champions, Austin Aries, Roderick Strong.
You beat Christopher Daniels, you beat Austin Aries, but you know what? I've beat him too. And now's your chance to see if you can hang with the best wrestler in the world. I don't think you can.
People tell me he's a better wrestler than me. People tell me he's a better technical, he's a better pure wrestler. You call yourself the real world's champion? Let's be honest, you're the underdog here.
I'm the best wrestler in the world. When we get to Liverpool, I'm going to break your bones, I'm going to snap your tendons, and I'm going to take that belt from around your waist and become the first unified champion in Ring of Honor history.
I'm going to defend my belt over in England, in it, to win it.
Just like Chris Sabin, just like Mara Fuji, just like Steve Corino, tonight you're going down.
The lizard Bryan Danielson, that clam digger, that pretender to the real world championship.
I've been studying tapes. I will do my very best.
I am the world's best pure wrestler.
I'm the best wrestler in the world.
Bryan Danielson, Nigel McGuinness. Here are the rules of this match. You each get 3 rope breaks to break up a pinfall or a submission attempt. Once you use those 3 rope breaks, the ropes are in play and can be used by your opponent, but they cannot be used by you to break up a pin or a submission. There is a strict 20 count on the floor. There are to be no closed fist strikes to the face. On the first closed fist, you'll be issued a warning. On the second, you'll be penalized a rope break. And if you have no rope breaks left, you will be disqualified. And in this match, both the pure title and the world title can change hands on a countout or a disqualification. In the event of a double pin, double countout, or double disqualification, the match will be restarted. Do you both understand these rules? Please shake hands, go to your corners, and wait for the bell.
And it is time for your main event on this very historic evening, the first ROH event in the United Kingdom, and you will see a very historic main event for this card, a title unification match, guaranteed to see the first title change in Ring of Honor during 2006 as the world champion, the American Dragon Bryan Danielson, does battle with the pure champion, Nigel McGuinness.
Dave, what an amazing match we have on our hands here. Two men, two championships, winner takes all. Under any circumstance, there will be a title change here tonight. The titles will be unified. Any sort of draw will result in a restart. There's no way around it, Dave. There will be one champion after tonight.
The world title can change hands in this matchup on a count-out or disqualification, as this is under pure title rules.
Nothing pure about a slap to the face.
Not at all. Nigel McGuinness here, wrestling in front of his home country, his home crowd. Bryan Danielson has spent a good portion of his career, several years ago, wrestling in Europe, particularly in England.
Whether you like Bryan Danielson or you hate him, there's no denying that he's a fighting champion. To go into England to defend against Nigel McGuinness, and not under regular rules, under Nigel McGuinness's pure title rules.
Well, both of these men feel that they are the best champion in Ring of Honor. Danielson has called himself the best in the world. Another open hand strike, a slap across the face. Nigel giving Danielson a receipt right there. The title unification challenges have been issued over the past several shows, and now we get the matchup between these two men. Nigel McGuinness won the pure title at the Dragon Gate Invasion event on August 27th of 2005, has successfully defended the title against the likes of Jay Lethal, Samoa Joe, Claudio Castagnoli, Tony Mamaluke, Austin Aries, Christopher Daniels, Homicide, Roderick Strong, Colt Cabana, and many others as well. Bryan Danielson, on the other hand, won the world title at Glory by Honor 4 from James Gibson on September 17th, 2005. Danielson has successfully defended the world title against such men as Steve Corino, Chris Sabin, Roderick Strong, Christopher Daniels, Naomichi Marufuji, AJ Styles, Jimmy Rave, Alex Shelley, Lance Storm, Jimmy Yang. Nice drop kick right there from Bryan Danielson. Colt Cabana, Delirious, Homicide, Sanjay Dutt, Samoa Joe, you name it. Bryan Danielson has taken on all comers. Tonight, one man will walk away as the lone champion here in Ring of Honor.
Dave, try to take a second to catch your breath after naming all the people that Danielson and McGuinness have defended against. It's an unbelievable list for both men, but there can only be one champion after tonight. So much at stake.
Danielson going to work on the arm of Nigel McGuinness, holding on to the wrist lock. McGuinness, though, pulling forward, right back to his feet. Snapmare brings Dragon down to the canvas and a kick to the back. Danielson back to his feet, trying to shake it off. Nigel McGuinness asking him to meet him in the center of the ring here.
You talked before about the challenges that we've heard over the past couple of months. We've heard the challenges, we've heard the rumors. Honestly, Dave, I never thought it would happen. All the politics involved, to have a unification of the pure world title, I can't believe it's actually happened.
And it's the one way to determine who is the better wrestler, who is the better champion between these two men. This is the third match between these two competitors. The previous two both took place in Cleveland, Ohio. The first at Weekend of Champions Night 2, and the second at the last Cleveland event. Generation Now is the title. Nigel won the first matchup via countout after utilizing a chair as Danielson springboarded into the crowd, only to get met with the chair and be counted out as Nigel crawled back inside the ring. Danielson won the second matchup with a small package. Nigel picking away at the back now is Bryan Danielson.
Each man has defeated the other under the respective rules of the titles they hold. So it's got to be a psychological advantage here for McGuinness. He's already faced Danielson under pure title rules, and he's beaten him.
Danielson going to work on the arm of McGuinness, something that Nigel likes to do to his opponents, work over the arm.
Danielson twists away at the arm of McGuinness. Now brings the arm down across the shoulder, arm breaker.
More damage done. Want to work on the shoulder as well.
Arm breaker by Danielson. And a shoulder thrust. Takes down McGuinness.
Keeping him down on the canvas and bending the fingers back as well as the wrist. And very close to the rope, trying to bait Nigel into utilizing a rope break here. Also takes him down by the arm. And again, bending back on the wrist and the fingers. Stepping over and really wrenching on that arm.
Nigel. No, sir. Still don't want to get. No, sir. No, sir. Still no, sir.
Pulling back now on the hand of Nigel McGuinness.
No, 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 no.
McGuinness reaching toward the ropes. Will he utilize a rope break right here? Standing on the side of the face of McGuinness. Nigel works his way back to his feet. Danielson backs him up against the rope, sends him off. Connects with the drop kick. The world champion in control of the match. Only gets a near fall though.
Danielson picks up McGuinness, butterflies the arms. McGuinness uses his power to bring Bryan Danielson into the corner, but Danielson able to spin him around. Nice European uppercut by the world champion.
Both of these men throw some very hard-hitting European uppercuts. Very precise. Pulling McGuinness out of the corner, butterflying the arms. Butterfly suplex from Danielson. Going to work on the arm here. Will McGuinness use a rope break? He does. His foot reaches the bottom rope to force a break of the hold. Danielson has until 5, and McGuinness only has 2 rope breaks remaining.
Danielson now allowing himself to be distracted here by the crowd in Liverpool. Needs to focus on his man and get back on the attack.
The first 2 matches between these 2 men have been absolute classics. This is becoming a true wrestling feud between these 2 men. Kick to the back and down across the chest with the arm.
We're seeing the final chapter of 2 classic trilogies, as we just saw the 3rd match between Aries and Strong and the Briscoe brothers, and now we're treated to the 3rd match between McGuinness and Danielson.
Driving down onto the arm of Bryan Danielson. Without a doubt, this show focused on bringing the hottest feuds of Ring of Honor to the UK and having the championships defended here in Europe. Tomorrow night, we will bring you some unique matches with some of the international talent against the stars of ROH. Here's McGuinness all the way across the ring with the European uppercut.
Speaking of international talent, not only have we seen tonight some of the top stars from the UK, we also saw Suwa and Go Shiozaki from Pro Wrestling Noah of Japan. It'll be interesting to see what matchups they have tomorrow night.
European uppercut from McGuinness. Danielson trying to stay on his feet and shake off the effects. Another hard European uppercut sends Danielson down.
McGuinness in it to win it as always. Measured up his man and knocked him down with the European uppercut. And now opting to go for a Cobra clutch on the ground.
Tempting Bryan Danielson to utilize the ropes here, use up one of his rope breaks. Even allowing Danielson to inch his way toward the ropes just so that he might put it to use, while still doing damage with the hold. Danielson thinking about using that rope break, trying not to, trying to figure out maybe a different way to get out of this hold without using a rope break. Works his way back to his feet. Going for the short arm clothesline. Step up enziguri from Dragon.
And we've seen McGuinness many times use that Cobra clutch, spun into a clothesline, but Danielson had it very well scouted, was able to duck under and counter with that kick right to the back of the head.
Danielson going to work on the legs now. Maybe looking to cinch in the Mexican surfboard. Fighting for the arms of McGuinness. Rocking backward.
Screw you, people.
And instead drives the knees of McGuinness down into the mat.
Up and down goes Danielson onto the knees and the hamstrings of the pure champion, Nigel McGuinness. And Nigel McGuinness is in obvious pain here.
Kicking away at the back of McGuinness. Elevates McGuinness to the top turnbuckle. Danielson maybe looking for a superplex. All the way to the top goes Danielson. And McGuinness up top as well.
Letting McGuinness think about it.
Superplex. McGuinness on his back. Danielson quickly to the top. Diving headbutt. Hooks the leg. No, he gets his shoulder up. Grabs hold of the arms. Cattle mutilation. Nigel uses his second rope break to escape cattle mutilation.
That is rope break number 2 for Nigel McGuinness.
He has one rope break left. And then the ropes cannot save him any longer, and the ropes are in play for Bryan Danielson.
Bryan Danielson feeling pretty good about it. He's caused McGuinness to use 2 of his rope breaks.
McGuinness right back to his feet, takes away Danielson's balance on the top. Tower of London! And Danielson gets his foot across the bottom row. And now, what's Nigel doing? He's using cattle mutilation on Danielson. He beat Delirious with this very hold. Danielson struggling and reaches the bottom row.
That is rope break number 2 for Bryan Danielson.
And that is the second rope break used by Bryan Danielson. Both men with one rope break remaining. And you have to watch the 20 count on the floor. And these matches held under pure title rules.
On the outside is where things work to the advantage of Nigel McGuinness. He's proven to be a master when it comes to causing countouts. And he could win the world title tonight with a countout.
Putting on the brakes. And drives McGuinness face first into the table. And once again, McGuinness laid out on the table. And standing on the side of the face and the throat of McGuinness, just choking away. Look at the expression on the face of the champion. The world champion, that is.
And you notice, David, the chairs and tables here in England don't seem to break as easily as the United States.
Oh, and now Bryan Danielson utilizing the table to keep Nigel down on the floor. And this is a tactic that we saw Nigel McGuinness try to put to use against Bryan Danielson in Cleveland to try to keep him down on the floor and utilize the countout to his advantage. Danielson now trying to use the same strategy against McGuinness. The pure title is in jeopardy. Can McGuinness get in the ring? He does. Both men back inside. Forearm shot from Danielson. McGuinness fires back with one of his own. Back and forth they go. Comes roaring. McGuinness ducks and connects with the lariat. Cover. Only two. Didn't hook the leg.
Nigel McGuinness has got to be asking himself, what is it going to take to put away Bryan Danielson and secure the ROH World Championship? And as I say that, it looks like Nigel McGuinness is bleeding from the mouth now.
Headstand in the corner, drop kick to the head of McGuinness. Right forearm, cover. No, he gets his shoulder up. Danielson going for counter mutilation, changes it up, looking for the crossface chicken wing. This is how he won the world title from James Gibson.
He's got the crossface chicken wing locked in perfectly in the center of the ring. Will Nigel McGuinness tap out? He's got the body scissors. This could be it, Dave.
He's got it cinched in. Will McGuinness tap? McGuinness uses his third and final rope break. The ropes cannot save Nigel McGuinness, and they are now in play for Bryan Danielson. Look at the confidence on the face of the world champion.
Champion may be a little overconfident here. German suplex throws McGuinness on his head. And perhaps Danielson could be setting him up soon for a counter mutilation. There's no rope breaks left for McGuinness.
Danielson certainly in the driver's seat of this match. All the way up top. The Dragon flies. But McGuinness gets the boot up and blocks the attempt of the diving headbutt. Both men feeling the effects, double count administered by the referee. Who's going to make it back to their feet first? McGuinness on his knees. Danielson back to his feet. Exchange of open hand strikes. Danielson charges with the leaping forearm in the corner. Going for the dragon suplex, but blocked. McGuinness places Danielson on the top rope. Bryan Danielson uses his third and final rope break. The ropes cannot save either man. They are in play for both individuals. Both titles at stake in this matchup. Who's going to walk away with both titles?
And now for both men, getting caught in a submission is beyond extremely dangerous. No rope breaks, as you said. And you gotta think Danielson's gotta try to go for the cattle mutilation, and we may even see McGuinness go for the cattle mutilation once again.
McGuinness slowly climbing up top. Danielson back to his feet, forearm shot to the bloodied mouth of Nigel McGuinness. Dragon looking for the superplex. McGuinness trying to fight it off. Headbutt. Down goes Dragon. Back to his feet. Drop kick. Danielson out to the apron. What could he have in mind? The ropes are in play. He can lock in the cross-face chicken wing on the ropes. He's got extra leverage on the hold up on the ropes here. McGuinness has nowhere to go in this position. Will he give it up? Will he tap?
He could be trapped here, Dave. No, he got his arm free, battling out of it.
Tower of London! Only two! Every fan in this building on their feet.
The buzz in the air is unbelievable as both men continue to battle, and Danielson goes shoulder first into the ring post.
Oh, and he just pulled the head. Oh, and again. And McGuinness colliding with the ring post. Oh, he's busted open. He's got to have a concussion. The blood pouring down the face of Nigel McGuinness. Not only the bloody mouth, but the ring post busting his head wide open. Danielson off the ropes. Baseball slide drop kick sends McGuinness into the front row. How can Nigel make it back into the ring? He could lose the pure title here by count out. Danielson poised. That's gotta be it for McGuinness.
This is awesome!
Danielson needs to get back inside the ring.
The somersault plancha from Bryan Danielson completely went up McGuinness, but somehow McGuinness manages to get back to his feet. Unbelievable.
The blood pouring down his face. His eyes are glazed over. I wonder if he knows where he's at. Danielson tumbles over the barricade, back to the ringside area. Nigel trying to struggle, back over the barricade himself.
There's no question, Dave, from the eyes of McGuinness. He definitely has a concussion, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get back into the ring. And even if he does, what will McGuinness have left?
See the blood of Nigel McGuinness on the back of Bryan Danielson. Kicking away at McGuinness, sending him back over the guardrail. The count's at 12.
Come on, Nigel!
Danielson back inside the ring. 14. At the count of 19. Himself on the apron, drives the shoulder into the midsection of Danielson, snapping back on the ring rope, right into the eyes of the world champion. And another headbutt. Danielson hanging out of the ropes. Another headbutt.
Danielson looks totally out of it, Dave.
Headbutt from Danielson. Nigel scores the lariat! Nigel's out! Nigel's out! That's it! The ref stops the match! A good decision from Tassilo Jung, stopping the match. Nigel could not continue. He was out at the hands of those elbows from Bryan Danielson. This crowd does not like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner and
But a great decision from the official. He had to stop the match for McGuinness's well-being.
He had no choice, Dave. McGuinness was totally out.
He was out. We have one singles champion in Ring of Honor, and it is Bryan Danielson. I am speechless. We'll see you tomorrow as the UK tour continues. Ring of Honor can now call England home. World Championship held high above the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, to put the title on the line against KENTA.
And Dave, something that's going to play a huge factor in this matchup is the fact that Bryan Danielson, in his last title defense against Colt Cabana, Bryan Danielson was severely injured. A torn muscle in his chest possibly, torn tendons in his shoulder. He needs surgery. I'm not sure if he should be wrestling tonight, and the world title's on the line against KENTA.
The point is Bryan Danielson has elected to continue to defend the ROH World title. Whether he might need surgery or not, he has made the decision to continue to fight, to continue to wrestle, and to continue to be the best wrestler in the world as he ducks out of harm's way. Some of the most lethal kicks that you will see in professional wrestling are thrown by KENTA.
And KENTA already signed to return in November and possibly more if he is to win the title here tonight. And both men collar and elbow center of the ring. Let's see who wins this test of strength.
Up against the ropes. Referee looking for a clean break from KENTA. And we do see the clean break. Oh, but a little bit of a warning shot. Slap across the face from KENTA.
KENTA's not going to be intimidated by the champion. KENTA's going to take the fight straight to Bryan Danielson. We saw it right there as he slapped him right across the face.
On March 25th, the best in the world, KENTA teamed with Naomichi Marufuji to defeat Bryan Danielson and Samoa Joe. And he pinned Danielson following the go to sleep. And we did not see the clean break from Danielson. He slaps right across the face of KENTA as well. Of course, the go to sleep, the fireman's carry into the knee strike right to the face of his opponents. A very lethal maneuver. It has worked very well for KENTA here in Ring of Honor. June 17th at In Your Face, KENTA pinned Bryan Danielson with the go to sleep in a three-way matchup that also included Samoa Joe.
Well, that match, of course, Dave, was non-title. But tonight, the title's on the line. Danielson going after the shoulder of Marufuji and a knee strike right to the face.
You see the Pro Wrestling Noah Stars in the corner of KENTA, as well as his American protege, Davey Richards, to lend some moral support. KENTA has had an undefeated streak of incredible matches here in Ring of Honor. Hard kick right to the shoulder, an injured shoulder of Bryan Danielson. And you know KENTA's going to focus on that body part, that weakness in the champion.
You see the bandage on the shoulder, practically a target for KENTA's kicks.
We don't know how that shoulder is going to hold up. This is Danielson's first match back anywhere in wrestling since suffering that injury in Chicago at the hands of Colt Cabana.
Yeah, more importantly, Dave, Danielson doesn't know how the shoulder is going to hold up.
Taking his time to get back inside the ring. Of course, Kenta defeating Low Key, Roderick Strong, Austin Aries, Davey Richards, the Briscoes during his ROH tenure thus far. Undefeated here in ROH. Another hard kick to the shoulder. Series of slaps followed by a headbutt.
And notice those slaps being thrown with the left arm.
Driving the hip right into the side of the head of Kenta. Snapmare. Hard kick to the spine. But Kenta's back up. Dishes it right back out. And the pain going through the shoulder of Bryan Danielson. Clutching away at that shoulder and trying to get away from the attack of Kenta.
Kenta stalking Bryan Danielson here, not letting him leave his line of sight.
Kenta so explosive in his offense. Another kick to that arm, cutting away on the back. But Danielson grabbing the side headlock and pulling Kenta down in the center of the ring. Of course, as the bonus on this DVD release, the ROH video recap, you can see Bryan Danielson explain exactly why he has chosen not to undergo surgery on that shoulder and has elected to continue to defend the ROH World title.
Trying to get out of the head scissors here. Handstand for Danielson. Spins his way out. Now he's got control of the leg.
If Bryan Danielson can successfully get through this matchup and retain the championship, he will have held the ROH World title for 1 full year. It was 1 year ago this weekend that he won the championship from James Gibson. And he has defended it against a virtual who's who in professional wrestling. Talking about wrestlers like AJ Styles, Chris Hero, Marufuji, Homicide, Delirious, Jimmy Yang, Colt Cabana, Sanjay Dutt, Nigel McGuinness, Suwa, Roderick Strong, Samoa Joe, the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, Steve Corino, Chris Sabin. The list goes on and on. Bryan Danielson has made a very strong case for being called the greatest ROH World Champion thus far. 3 one-hour draws during the course of the month of August, 2 of which were 2 out of 3 Falls matches.
What an accomplishment it would be to add Kenta's name to that list, Dave.
Kicking away at the legs and the chest of Danielson. Lance Storm came out of retirement to challenge Danielson for the ROH World title in Chicago. Danielson beat Lance Storm.
And in addition to the Noah Stars, you see in Kenta's corner his American protege, Davey Richards, as well.
Leapfrog from Bryan Danielson. Step over by Kenta off the ropes. He comes and gets met with a drop kick from Danielson. Sends Kenta out to the floor. Danielson on his feet in the center of the ring as Kenta tries to get back up. Danielson takes a chance, and a hard kick from Kenta.
Yeah, Danielson went for the pescado, but no one was home. Oh, what a kick to the shoulder.
You can hear the hard impact of each of those kicks. And now, using that shoulder of Danielson, and sending him right into the steel barricade, shoulder first. Kenta not holding anything back in his quest to becoming the ROH World Champion.
Come on, Dragon.
All eyes in Japan are on this matchup. I'd love to see Kenta return to Pro Wrestling Noah with the ROH World title.
Kenta now picking up Danielson, sends him back into the ring. Danielson in a lot of pain here, obviously. The repeated kicks to the injured shoulder. And now a stomp to the shoulder as well, Dave.
Staying on that body part. The bandages on the shoulder of Bryan Danielson like a bullseye for Kenta. Undefeated here in Ring of Honor. The Go to Sleep has beaten everyone that he has stepped in the ring with thus far, including Bryan Danielson, right here in New York City in a non-title match.
You got to think if you're Kenta,
despite the fact that you're not fighting in your home country, you're fighting in New York City, you still got to be very confident because KENTA has been so dominant in ROH.
Several kicks to the shoulder once again by KENTA.
Rear mount here from KENTA, going back after that arm.
Staying focused on it, putting pressure down on the shoulder of Bryan Danielson, who rolls forward to try to relieve the pressure. Danielson still has his arm in a bad way, courtesy of KENTA. Rolls the shoulders of Danielson, trying to worked his way out of that position, now with the head scissors on KENTA. Breaks free, and KENTA still staying on the arm.
Yeah, KENTA wasted no time floating over, going back to that arm lock. Really wrenching back now, Dave.
Trying to get a submission out of Bryan Danielson. Rolls the shoulders of KENTA to the canvas. Any one of these submission holds where he's working over the shoulder and the arm of Bryan Danielson could be the end of this matchup, could be the title change. Those tendons can rip even further at any time here. Again, doctors do not think that Bryan Danielson should continue to compete, that he needs surgery.
Yeah, Dave, not only could the right move from KENTA end the reign of Bryan Danielson, it could really put his career on hiatus for several months.
It could do serious career-threatening damage to that body part. KENTA brings himself back in the ring and kicks away at the head of Bryan Danielson. But he's back to his feet, clips the leg of KENTA.
Danielson insulted by that move, took down KENTA.
KENTA, he's got the arm once again.
He's got him in a key lock, Dave, and Danielson barely made the ropes. And we saw last month when Nigel McGuinness had Danielson in a key lock, Danielson tapped out.
He reached the ropes to force a break, but more damage has been done to the shoulder.
KENTA now picking up Danielson. Danielson breaks his arms. Another series of left arm slaps right to the face.
Follows it up with the headbutt. Off the ropes. Oh! And in retaliation, the slap right across the face of the American Dragon. KENTA with the cover. Dragon kicks out. Goes right back to work on the arm.
Danielson in a lot of trouble here. The arm hold is locked in. Danielson trying to break it, going after the fingers now.
Trying to do whatever he can to relieve that pressure on his shoulder. Trying to get the advantage. Up on the back of KENTA from this position.
Danielson's got a rear mount. Could try to choke out KENTA. KENTA escapes though.
And maintains control of the arm of the champion. But Danielson reaches the bottom rope with his foot to force a break. KENTA looking to capitalize. Another hard kick. Just measuring that shoulder for each strike.
Kicked him right in the face.
Todd Sinclair asking him to back off. He's up against the ropes in the corner. KENTA with Bryan Danielson. Irish whip. Puts on the brakes, goes through the legs of KENTA. Knee left right to the midsection into the cravat. Cravat suplex from the champion.
Danielson now starting to gain some confidence. What a move that was, the cravat suplex to take over KENTA. And KENTA is still down as Danielson makes his way over to KENTA to try to inflict more damage.
Danielson needs to maintain that confidence, needs to be very aggressive. Needs to dish out the punishment while also trying to keep his opponent away from doing damage to the shoulder. From England to Japan, they're watching this match. All eyes are on Manhattan. Back heel kick right to the jaw from Dragon.
What a spin kick from American Dragon. You gotta wonder if he's coming up with some new things here because the injury to that arm has limited his usual offense.
Vertical suplex. He had to use the strength in that bad arm in order to get him up, but he still was able to.
2, 3. Hey, you're choking him. Knock it off.
That was a warning from referee Todd Sinclair.
Danielson was trying to choke KENTA, thinking the referee wouldn't see it, but the referee did see it, and that's why he refused to make the count.
Looking the eyes of KENTA across the top rope. taking away the vision of the challenger. Kenta down on his back. At least Danielson has successfully gained the advantage in the match and has kept Kenta away from the shoulder for the past few moments. Turns him over, possibly looking for the Mexican surfboard. Tying up the legs of Kenta, now trying to grab hold of the arms, but Kenta trying to block, keep his arms, his hands out of the reach of Bryan Danielson. He's fighting it off. But Danielson, he's got one wrist. Now he's got the other.
Kenta tried to fight out, but was unable to avoid it. As now Danielson's got both wrists. Can he take him over?
Rocking back. Lost control of one of the legs, but Danielson. He never screws up. He's the best wrestler in the world. Even though he might have lost the hold, he still drove the knees of Kenta into the canvas and inflicted punishment on his opponent. And that's just going to make Danielson even more aggressive. These fans getting on his case. He feeds off the negative energy of the crowd and makes him even more sharp in that ring. Figure 4 leg lock applied by Bryan Danielson.
Kenta saying no, doesn't want to give it up. But can he reach the ropes is the question. And Danielson now positioning his body in front of the ropes.
Out of the line of sight of referee Todd Sinclair. Danielson using the ropes to his advantage. Kenta trying to point it out to the referee. He's asking if he needs to give it up. The referee didn't quite see that Danielson had a hold of the rope for leverage on the hold. Kenta not giving it up. And once again, grabs hold of that rope.
Watch. Hey, you on the ropes? No.
This is desperation from Bryan Danielson, whatever it takes to get the victory. We saw him low blow Colt Cabana in order to even up their 2 out of 3 falls match so that it would end in a draw as time was winding down. He'll do whatever it takes to hold on to the ROH World title. They wind up in the ropes. And Danielson very happy with himself right now.
And Danielson holding on as long as he could. Draws the ire of the referee. He has till 5, we know. Danielson now walking back over to Kenta, trying to figure out his next move.
Got the leg, slingshot, rope first across the bottom rope. Danielson in full control of the bout. Kenta trying to shake off the effects, trying to breathe. Supporters of both wrestlers in the building here tonight in New York City. Chop across the chest. Kenta now reverses the Irish whip. Danielson into the buckle. It's the boot right into the face. Elbow from Kenta. Comes charging. Danielson gets the boot up, but kicking away at the leg is Kenta.
Yeah, right to the hamstring. Now he has him over. Takes him over with a vertical suplex.
The champion feeling the effects. Kenta slow to get back up himself. Very hard-hitting action from both wrestlers. Kenta with Danielson. Off the ropes. Connects with the kick.
Champion down once again. Kenta plotting his next move.
Combination of kicks from Kenta. Brings himself out to the apron. Springboard into the missile drop kick. Cover. Dragon kicks out. Kenta back to his feet, looking to follow up.
Has Danielson hooked once again. Looks like he's going for a fisherman's suplex.
Danielson trying to block. Goes right back to work on Danielson, butterflying the arms. Butterfly suplex. And going for the cross arm breaker.
Unification Jujiaku Juji Gatami locked in the center of the ring by Kenta. And all the pressure on the injured shoulder.
This could be it right here. Danielson could tap. He could lose the title.
Danielson risking permanent injury if he doesn't give it up here.
Reaches the ropes.
1, 2, 3.
Those tendons can snap at any time. Danielson realizes it, but he's still in there fighting. He's still in there defending the Ring of Honor World Championship. KENTA with Dragon backed into the corner. Back flip off the top turnbuckle. Into the half crown goes Dragon. KENTA trying to crawl toward the ropes. Reaching for the ropes, but Danielson pulls him back into the center. Maintaining the hold is Danielson.
KENTA trying to crawl to the ropes. Can he make it?
He does.
1, 2.
And Danielson taking full advantage of the referee's 5 count, but an enziguri to the back of the head, courtesy of KENTA.
And that's what Danielson gets for not breaking the hold.
Boot to the midsection. Maybe looking for go to sleep. He's got him up on his shoulders. Danielson works his way out of it. Roaring elbow. Comes charging. Running forearm in the corner. Danielson fighting through the pain. The adrenaline racing through his veins. Places KENTA up top. Slap right across the face. We could potentially see a superplex from this position. Both men all the way to the top rope.
Danielson making KENTA think about it here.
Superplex. And that took a lot out of the shoulder of Danielson, just executing the maneuver. KENTA able to kick out, going after the...
Crossface chicken wing here from Bryan Danielson. Has it locked in. KENTA gets back to his feet though.
Trying to work his way toward the ropes. At least he's at a standing position. Could potentially block it, but now taken down with the body scissors as well, while in the crossface chicken wing.
KENTA in a bad spot here as the legs of Bryan Danielson are wrapped around him.
Trying to inch toward the ropes. Can he make it? He does.
1, 2, 3.
And again, taking full advantage of the referee's count. Normally in a Bryan Danielson match, you got to be thinking about a potential 1-hour draw. But in this match, I don't think we have to worry about that. Because at the pace that they're going, as hard as they're striking with one another, I don't see this one lasting that long.
Usually, Dave, when we see a long title defense for Bryan Danielson, it's because Danielson is setting the pace. And in this match, KENTA has set the pace from the very beginning.
And plus with the injury of Danielson, you got to wonder if he could last, even if he wanted to set the pace and take it to the distance, go the distance with KENTA. I don't think that he could even do it. I'm sure he would argue with me about that fact because he feels that he is the best wrestler in the world as he climbs up top, KENTA on his back in the middle of the ring. The Dragon will fly. But KENTA gets the feet up.
He flew right into the boots of KENTA. And now Danielson's got to be seriously hurt. His head right into the feet of KENTA.
Going for the springboard maneuver, but Danielson drop kicks him out of midair. Both men down on the canvas in a world of pain. Both men exhausted from the battle thus far. As Davey Richards encourages KENTA to get back to his feet.
What great counters, Dave, we've seen from both of these amazing competitors. As the referee continues to count, who's going to make it to their feet first? KENTA is almost up. Now he's up to both feet.
Danielson almost up himself. He's up. Forearm strike from KENTA. Danielson fires back.
And Danielson forced to fight as a southpaw because of the injury to the arm.
What an exchange. Oh, you can hear the head connect. absorbing a whole lot of punishment in the process. Both men are down once again. Todd Sinclair administering the count. These fans in Manhattan are witnessing a classic. Who's gonna walk away from New York City wearing this championship? Both men back to their feet. Kenta with the running clothesline takes Danielson over the top and all the way to the floor.
Come on, Dragon! Get up there. Come on, in the ring.
Picks him up. Reversal of the whip though. Kenta puts on the brakes. Over the head, release belly-to-belly suplex on the floor for the American Dragon. Trying to get back to his feet, regain his own bearings. He did a whole lot of damage to Kenta with that very maneuver. Still laying on his back on the ringside floor as Danielson rolls back inside the ring.
And Danielson just barely able to roll inside the ring. Kenta trying to get up now.
Fans encouraging Kenta to get back in the ring and continue to fight.
You see Muhammad Yone shouting advice to Kenta.
Danielson gets a running start. Baseball slide drop kick sends Kenta into the front row. Kenta over the guardrail now. There's no way Danielson can try and dive into the crowd with his shoulder in that condition. Belt here tonight, soaring into the crowd, wiping out his opponent and potentially doing further damage to himself.
That's all right.
This is the place to be here tonight, New York City for Ring of Honor.
Danielson picking up Kenta. Kenta definitely got the worst of the punishment on that dive. Kenta sent over the guardrail.
The high risk paid off for Danielson. He did damage to Kenta and didn't apparently do more damage to his own shoulder. I mean, he's still favoring it through the punishment of this match thus far, but...
Well, he put too much weight on that arm to lift himself over the guardrail, and now he's paying for it.
Kenta rolled back inside the ring. Danielson taking another chance, climbing up top. Kenta back to his feet. Missile drop kick from the champion. And nips back up to his feet. A one-arm nip-up from Bryan Danielson. Roaring elbow blocked. Catches the arm, does Kenta. Fujiwara arm. Cinch there, this could be it. Danielson can tap. This could rip the tendons in the shoulder of Danielson. But he reaches the ropes. Kenta must break. He's got Danielson down. Kenta's got to be thinking about possibly go to sleep once again. Belly to back suplex. Danielson lands on his feet. Gets the boot up into the face of Kenta. Up to the second rope. Put into an ace crusher. Back to the Fujiwara elbow. Bryan Danielson has been able to withstand in this match. He reaches the ropes once again. What a war we are witnessing here between these two athletes. What a warrior Bryan Danielson is, continuing to fight through all this pain. Blocks the attempt. Regalplex. 1, 2. He kicks out. Both men exhausted from this action thus far.
And what heart from Kenta to kick out after the Regoplex. Both men, Dave, have taken so much punishment, but it looks like Danielson is going to get back to his feet first to continue his attack. Dave, we're watching two of the best in the world battle for the ROH World title back and forth. What an amazing war this has been as Danielson lifts up Kenta. He's got him up on the top turnbuckle. Kenta is in trouble.
Looking for another suplex. Bryan Danielson has Kenta hooked. Both men up top once again. And he hits it. Jarred his own shoulder in the process of delivering the maneuver, but he does damage to Kenta as well. Danielson with the cover. He kicks out. Trying to work one of those arms for cattle mutilation. So many men have tapped to this hold. Kenta trying to maneuver his way toward the ropes. And he makes the ropes. Taking full advantage of the 5 count is Danielson once again. Kenta down on the canvas, face first. He's not even moving.
Danielson back to his feet, going back after Kenta. He's got Kenta hooked. Front Chancery suplex from the champion. Kenta down once again. And Danielson maybe going up top here. I don't know how wise that is with the injured shoulder, but Danielson pulling out all the stops to try to retain his title.
Kenta back to his feet. Top rope Falcon Arrow. Coming up. Danielson trying to block. And drops him. Caught on the shoulders. Go to sleep. Danielson, the first man to survive, go to sleep. Ring presence. He knew how close he was to the ropes. Put that foot on the bottom rope to break the pin. Kenta's fellow wrestlers from Pro Wrestling Noah watching on and encouraging this man to earn the ROH World title, kicking at that shoulder. They were in shock that Go to Sleep didn't finish him off. Knee to the back.
Uzaki knee kick to the back of the head. Danielson's in trouble.
Another knee strike from Kenta, looking to finish him off. Hits the ropes.
Went for the Uzaki knee, but Danielson caught him.
Only 2. These fans on their feet as these 2 men continue to battle for the championship.
Danielson and Kenta so well scouted, but it wasn't enough. Big Boot takes down the champion. Can Kenta make the cover?
Contemplating his next move. Kenta back to his feet. Maybe another Go to Sleep. 2 Go to Sleeps could earn him the championship. He's got to get it in the center of the ring, up on the shoulders. Danielson crucifix. Only 2. Elbows down to the side of the head of Kenta. This could finish him off. Danielson has won matches with this very hold. Repeated elbows. St. Clair's got to think about stopping this if Kenta can't continue.
Kenta looks out, Dave. Kenta looks out.
He's firing up. Cattle mutilation, no! Oh, Kenta rolled all the way through. Danielson still with the arms. Still with the arms hook. confrontation once again.
Center of the ring, Dave. Locked in perfectly. Kenta has nowhere to go. Will he tap out? Will Danielson retain the title?
Does he have Kenta worked out enough to force him to tap? Sinclair asking Kenta if he needs to give it up. He taps! Words cannot do justice to what we have just witnessed. We are watching a legend in the making in ROH World Champion Bryan Danielson.
Here is your winner, and still Ring of Honor World Champion, American Dragon, Bryan Danielson!
Thank you to both Bryan Danielson and Kenta for a hard-fought title matchup here in Manhattan. Thank you to the fans of New York City. And most of all, thank you to each and every one of you at home for making Ring of Honor what it is today. Championship is on the line. Takeshi Morishima to defend against American Dragon Bryan Danielson.
Referee Paul Turner calls for the bell, a very determined look on the face of the challenger. His first shot at the world title he lost in this very building back in December 2006 at Final Battle.
Kicking away at the legs of the champion, trying to take the champion off of his feet. Very tentative to lock up with American Dragon. Collar and elbow tie-up finally. And backing Danielson into the corner. Turns it around on Morishima. And again, kicking away the legs.
Bryan Danielson may very well be what he says he is, the best wrestler in the world, but he is giving up an awful lot of size and power to the ROH World Champion.
You might say he is the best in the world, but to truly back that up, he needs the championship belt once again around his waist.
Morishima screaming at Danielson, who again kicks at the legs, the massive thighs of the world champion.
What an atmosphere here in Manhattan. Greco-Roman knuckle lock backing Danielson up against the ropes. And just clubbing away at the side of the head of Danielson.
Again, Danielson kicking at the thighs of Morishima. See almost a smile on the face of Bryan Danielson. He's trying to draw the champion in so he can continue to deliver those kicks to the legs.
Almost a smirk on the face of Danielson. Single-handed knuckle lock. And kicking away once again at the legs.
Now that one on the inside of the thigh, not a low blow. Paul Turner right there with a good look at it. It did catch the inside of the thigh of the champ.
Again with a single-headed knuckle lock, but this time Morishima pounding away on the back of Danielson. It's out of harm's way, and again kicking away at the inside of the thigh.
Well, Bryan Danielson obviously does not want to get caught up in a toe-to-toe battle with Morishima. He can't match up physically with the champ, so he needs to stick and move, utilize his quickness and his superior wrestling skill against the champion.
Back to the knuckle lock. And once again, Danielson up against the ropes.
Turner asking for the clean break, does not get it, but Danielson able to avoid the champion, and again firing away at the thighs, and Morishima slumped in the corner.
Well, Bryan Danielson appears to have a game plan, kicking away at the legs and avoiding Morishima. It's worked very well thus far in the match.
Morishima passing the 6-month mark as Ring of Honor World Champion this weekend. Clubbing away on the back now of Danielson, and that's precisely the position Danielson does not want to be in. And he's doing a good job of avoiding it yet again, continuing to kick away at the massive legs of the 300-plus pound Ring of Honor World Champ.
Series of forearm strikes and more kicks to the legs.
Danielson dancing around. He obviously has a lot of energy, and he's looking to utilize the quickness. Avoids, again, Morishima charging in the corner.
Also trying to play some mind games with his quickness here. And flaunting it right in the face of Morishima, able to move out of harm's way every time Morishima goes for anything. And then proceeding to kick away the legs.
And so far, Morishima not coming up with any answers for Bryan Danielson's strategy so far. Morishima's got to use the angles here. He's got to cut the ring off and stop Danielson from getting around him, and he's doing that just now by backing him into the corner and clubbing away at the top of the head. Danielson trying to escape the corner, and Morishima won't let him.
More blows to the side of the head in the corner from Morishima.
Well, that one rocked Danielson, and again tosses him back into the corner.
Oh, he's not letting him get out of that corner. Finally, Morishima, for the first time in the match, lands a series of maneuvers. Hard-hitting blows to the side of the head of Bryan Danielson. The referee checking on Dragon's condition. Is now just pounding away in the corner. The champion with all of his body weight, boot right across the throat of Bryan Danielson, making it very difficult to breathe.
And that's certainly going to slow Danielson down, cut off his oxygen, make it difficult for him to breathe, and Bryan Danielson is going to become a much different wrestler. And another hard kick to the chest.
Crowd here in Manhattan a little bit split in terms of who they are supporting in this bout.
Right to the face with that kick. Danielson again slumped in the corner, the champion just towering over him.
He basically kicked him all the way to the other side of the ring, and now supporting all of the body weight of Morishima, standing on the throat and the shoulders of Bryan Danielson.
Morishima doing a good job of neutralizing the quickness of Bryan Danielson. Danielson able to land a couple of kicks again to the thigh, but one hard forearm sends him reeling again back to the corner, and now just stomping away on the challenger.
Danielson was able to get back to his feet, connect with a few more of those kicks, but just as quickly, the much larger world champion is back in command of the match. Irish whip, Danielson into the buckle. Morishima charges with a big boot to the side of the face.
Now that one may have caught Danielson near the eye. You see him wincing in pain. He's got that left eye closed, and he goes right to the face. Danielson in a lot of pain in the corner.
Again down in the corner, and once again, referee Paul Turner checking on the condition of Danielson.
Morishima again allowing Danielson a little bit of time here, but quickly grabs control of the head, snapmares him out of the corner, sets him in position. All of his body weight across the face of Bryan Danielson, who again kicking away at the thigh, trying to buy some time here.
From the position of being down on the mat, trying to kick away at the legs of Morishima. But he's just laying him into Danielson down on the canvas.
Not much Danielson can do to protect himself in that position either. Basically at the mercy of Morishima. And Danielson obviously still having issues with that eye. Paul Turner very concerned, checking on Danielson a second time, as this time Morishima now pitches Danielson out to the floor.
Morishima follows and sends Danielson into the steel barricade, looking to do some damage on the floor. Places Danielson in the chair in the corner here, as Morishima looking to get a running start. Big boot connects.
Oh, serious impact from not just the boot of Morishima, but the side of Danielson's head crashing into the steel barricade as well.
Oh, Danielson grabbing at his eye, it looks like, after connecting with that boot. Morishima doing a whole lot of damage. Danielson is in pain.
And again, Paul Turner checking on his condition as Morishima just stalking Danielson again, head of steam. All of his weight again crashing into Danielson, who is crushed against the guardrail.
And still holding that eye. Referee Paul Turner again checking on his condition to see if Danielson can continue.
A slight laceration above the eyebrow as well from Danielson, able to avoid Morishima as he charges. Setting him on the guardrail, has that leg tied up.
Trying to power Morishima over the barricade, and he does. Still favoring that eye is Bryan Danielson, but he's back inside the ring.
Springboard crossbody from Danielson over the guardrail, out into the second row of seats, crashing down on the champ. What an effort on the part of Bryan Danielson. His eye is obviously causing him discomfort, trouble seeing out of that eye, and he is refusing to let it get in the way, let anything get in the way of him regaining the ROH World title.
Injury or not, Bryan Danielson realizes this is his opportunity to reclaim what he feels is his belt, the ROH World Championship. Injury or not, nothing is going to stop Dragon.
He's waited 8 months to get this shot out on the shelf with a shoulder injury. For 5 of those months, he's made his way back to Ring of Honor for one reason and one reason only, and that is to regain the world title.
Trying to bring Morishima back inside the ring. He's a big guy to get back inside, as a series of European uppercuts now from Danielson. Kicking away the legs once again, this time out on the floor.
Backing the champion again, drapes that thigh, the massive thigh of Takeshi Morishima over the guardrail, and he's got a chair right across the leg.
Using that chair to do more damage to the legs. He's been kicking away the legs every chance he gets during the course of this contest, and now further damage done with the chair on the floor. And you'll notice, after connecting with every offensive maneuver, Danielson clutching his eye. It's got to be a serious injury, but he's not letting it stop him. He's going to the top rope.
Morishima on the canvas, Danielson up top.
Missile drop kick, and Morishima still on his feet.
Danielson with a nip up. Hard kicks right back to the leg again.
Morishima still on his feet.
Clothesline by the champ. Well, Morishima seems hurt here. Grabbing at his thigh, which Bryan Danielson has obviously targeted since the onset. Backdrop driver reversed.
Danielson wound up on top of Morishima, got a near fall out of it, kicking away at the legs once again, but solid forearm from the champion. Danielson's back up. Another combination of strikes. Another forearm from the champ, and again, Dragon back to his feet. Going for the butt, but kicking away the legs once again. Finally, it takes Morishima down.
Danielson going right to it, has the legs trapped, and just driving the boot repeatedly into the hamstring. Cover!
Going for a leg submission from this position.
Yeah, he's got an Achilles tendon hold on here.
Can Morishima hang in there? Paul Turner asking the champion if he's had enough.
No one has used this sort of strategy against Morishima to this point in his title reign.
And the pain of the hold, forcing the shoulders of Morishima against the canvas for a near fall. Danielson still with it cinched in, another near fall. If he can't get the submission, perhaps he can force the shoulders down from the sheer pain. But look at Morishima, back to his feet, German suplex.
Just launched the challenger overhead. Tremendous show of strength by Morishima, almost going on one leg here.
And once again, Danielson clutching his eye. Morishima back on his feet, trying to follow up now. Uranagi.
Oh, he just planted him. Cover. And again, Danielson digs down and gets the left shoulder up. But every time Morishima is able to execute an offensive maneuver, he gets up a little bit slower each time. Those kicks are starting to take its toll on the thighs of Takeshi Morishima.
Will take a chance, going for the missile drop kick, but Danielson back on his feet, up to the second rope himself. Perhaps looking for a superplex.
300 plus pounds, can he get the big man off his feet? No, shoved down to the canvas by Morishima. Avoids the missile drop kick.
Just swatted Morishima out of midair, and now back to work on the leg goes Bryan Danielson.
Tremendous pressure on the ankle and the knee. Really wrenching down on the hold.
Morishima trying to get back to his feet.
He won't give it up.
He reaches the ropes, and Danielson releases the hold. And again, clutching his eye. Bryan Danielson showing so much heart, continuing to fight through this match despite this injury to his eye to try to regain the ROH World Championship.
Fans urging him back to his feet, waistlock, trying for the German suplex, but I don't think he can get the big man off his feet. Elbows attempted from Morishima, standing switch.
Elbows from Danielson, off the ropes he comes. Death press!
Morishima clubbing away at the eye. Single-legged Boston Crab by Danielson.
A lot of pressure put on the leg. Danielson has focused on that body part the entire match. Morishima shaking his head no. Paul Turner in perfect position to see if Morishima needs to submit.
Look how deep Danielson is sitting in that hold. Morishima trying to crawl to the ropes, but Danielson drags him right back to the center.
Again, Morishima shaking his head no, not giving it up. Danielson still with it cinched in.
Determined look on his face, but Morishima rolls to his back, trying to kick his way free, kicking at that eye.
He knows that that's a weakness. Danielson keeps grasping at that eye. But Morishima is hurt. A lot has been taken out of his legs, courtesy of Danielson thus far in the match. He's unable to get back to a standing position. Both competitors are weakened and hurt at this point in the title matchup. Double count administered by Paul Turner.
And you got to ask yourself, too, at this point, Dave, has 6 months and the grueling schedule that Morishima has taken as the ROH World Champion, not just defending that belt here, but traveling back and forth to Japan so many times in between title defenses, finally taking its toll on Morishima. Is tonight the night he's ready to be beaten? Backdrop driver!
Danielson lands on his feet, small package!
So close, roaring elbow connects.
Forearm to the back of the head as well, roll up by Danielson. Only 2. That small package of Danielson has pinned many men here in Ring of Honor. He has such a tight small package, nearly impossible to kick out of, but Morishima did it.
The crowd urging Danielson back to his feet.
Trying to fight through that eye injury. Kicking away the legs once again. Staying on that body part. Danielson into the ropes. Sunset flip attempt.
Morishima down on the chest, brawling for 2.
All the body weight of the champion came crashing down on Bryan Danielson, but he still was able to get his shoulder up off the canvas. And Morishima Off the ropes he comes.
German suplex with a bridge for 2.
Elbows from Danielson.
He's won many matches with these elbows.
Morishima, though, fighting his way back to his feet. He's got Danielson.
No, he couldn't get him up. The leg buckled.
Couldn't support the weight of Danielson after all that work on the leg.
Morishima went down.
He can't stand up. Danielson kicking in his head. Only 2.
Looking for cattle mutilation. He's got it locked in.
Will Morishima give it up? Will he pass out? Referee checking on his condition. 2, 1 more, we got a new champ. No!
Morishima not ready to give it up. What a champion we have in Takeshi Morishima, and somehow able to crawl his way underneath the rope and force the break.
Both of these men putting it all on the line for the ROH World title. Morishima basically without legs underneath him. Danielson with a severe injury to his eye. Both men continuing to fight through the pain.
And the crowd telling both of these athletes how much they appreciate the efforts in this matchup for the world title. Danielson again back to his feet. Morishima in the corner.
Trying to elevate the champion to the top rope. Could Danielson be trying to go for the superplex? The belly to back superplex all the way to the top rope.
Cross body from Morishima, but he can't go for the cover.
It was too much weight for Danielson to support. That could crack a rib right there, and Danielson again clutching at his face, clutching at that eye, as Morishima tries to knock some life into his legs. Morishima back to his feet first, but barely able to stand.
Open hand slap from Danielson, but not much on it. Hard kick from the champ. But Danielson fires up. Forearms and elbows from the champ. Danielson refuses to go down. Turn him inside out with the lariat, but only 2.
Morishima could be looking for the backdrop driver here. He's going for it.
Here is your winner and still Ring of Honor World Champion, Takeshi Morishima.
What heart both men displayed in their battle over the ROH World Championship. Let's let this scene speak for itself.
guys, the guy who's the best wrestler in the world happens to be the guy, whoever it is, who holds the ROH World Championship. I'm sorry to have let you guys down.
American Dragon Bryan Danielson extends the hand. It is not shaken by Tyler Black of the Age of the Fall. The opening bell sounds.
The Age of the Fall not having a very good night so far here tonight in Dayton, and Tyler Black looks to change things up here against the American Dragon Bryan Danielson.
Collar and elbow tie-up. Waistlock grab by Dragon, able to take him down with the waistlock, but Black quickly escapes. And a very confident man is Tyler Black going up against a former ROH World Champion, one of the very best in the world, American Dragon.
Drop toe hold by Danielson, takes the waistlock. Black sits out though and able to escape rather easily and just pie faces Danielson. No lack of confidence on the part of Tyler Black here.
Danielson ready to go once again. Single-handed knuckle lock. Going for the second. Greco-Roman knuckle lock cinched in. Tyler Black with a height advantage in this matchup. Both men spend a lot of time in the gym. Forced down to his knees is Tyler Black. It's Danielson controlling the knuckle lock.
Trying to power the shoulders down to the canvas. Able to do so for the moment. Black, though, gets the right shoulder up. One more time. This time he bridges his way out. Count of two. Great show of strength hanging on the bridge, but Danielson trips the heel out from under him. Both men back to a knee.
Still holding on to the Greco-Roman knuckle lock. Both men back in a standing position now as Danielson backs Tyler up against the ropes. Referee looking for a clean break. And Danielson shoots him into the ropes. Hip toss, but Tyler Black lands on his feet and again pie faces Dragon. Again, not showing that he's intimidated whatsoever by being in the ring against a former world champion.
Well, there's a fine line between being confident and being a little overconfident, and Tyler Black is walking very, very close to that line. He needs to be very careful here.
Well, we've seen a series of matches that Bryan Danielson has had against fellow members of the Age of the Fall. Of course, right here in Dayton, it was Bryan Danielson versus the Necro Butcher. And of course, he took on Jimmy Jacobs in Chicago Ridge, Illinois recently as well. So here continuing in a series of matches against members of the Age of the Fall, and one of the hottest rising stars in professional wrestling in Tyler Black right now.
Black controls Dragon with the head scissors. Bryan looking for an escape, rolls to his front. Puts all his body weight down across the chest, only able to get two. Great show of strength by Black, though. Bridges right to his feet, trying for the backslide. Gets Danielson down to the canvas.
And again, shoves him right in the face.
And tells him, I was this close to putting you down for three.
You know, if you don't want to infuriate Bryan Danielson when you are standing across the ring from him, because he has got a mean streak, and when you light a fire underneath American Dragon, he will explode right in your face, usually with a series of elbows and lots of submission holds.
And so far, Danielson seems to be keeping his composure. He's not letting this kid get into his head. And usually it's Bryan Danielson trying to do the job of getting into the head of his opponent. And right there, he just got the taste slapped out of his mouth. It was an open hand slap.
I think Danielson, rather than just getting frustrated or pissed off, he just doesn't believe that Tyler Black is choosing to play this game.
And Black urging the fans on. Chant a little bit more. But he continues to try and get under the skin of Bryan Danielson.
Another slap across his face.
Make it two. Danielson tried to return the favor, but Black was a little too quick. And a very frustrated look on the face of Bryan Danielson. It has been all Tyler Black here in the early going.
You know what these fans want to see Bryan Danielson do in retaliation? But not losing his composure whatsoever.
Well, that's the mark of a good, sound strategy of a veteran. He doesn't let little things get to him. You can see he's a little bit frustrated, but he's still going to stick to his game plan, and he's not going to let Tyler Black dictate the pace or the style of this matchup. Danielson's going to wrestle his matchup no matter what.
Bridge is back. There's some payback. And a series of slaps in the corner. Now Danielson's getting serious.
And Tyler Black smartly goes to the outside to get away from Danielson.
Climbing up to the top rope, Tyler Black realized that and scurried to the other side of the ringside area to get out of harm's way, feeling the effects of that series of slaps from Bryan Danielson.
Well, you continually poke that bear with a stick. Sooner or later, that bear is going to attack. And that's exactly what happened. And Bryan Danielson was finally able to get his hands on Tyler Black in the corner and made him pay.
Slowly getting back inside the ring. Tyler Black and Bryan Danielson lock up once again. Danielson with the side headlock. Black backs him up against the ropes and shoots Danielson off. Shoulder tackle, down goes Tyler Black. Step over by Dragon. Going for the leapfrog, but Danielson catches the leg out of midair, and now standing on the back of the legs of Tyler Black, trying to grab hold of the arms. Tyler trying to fight it off.
Yeah, trying to keep the arms away. Instead, he just grabs the face.
Referee Paul Turner warning Danielson about pulling up on the nose and the face. Again, trying to fight for those arms, and again, he's got the nose.
Black won't give him the arms. He's got to grab something.
Danielson contemplating his next move. Trying to get the arm. He's got one. And he's got the other. And now rocking back, Bryan Danielson. Elevating him. In the surfboard.
All the while keeping his own shoulders off the canvas. Great strength on the part of Danielson here.
Submission predicament.
Trying to choke out Tyler Black here.
Fans chanting for him to tap, but not giving it up. Danielson still with the hold cinched in. Changes it up a little bit. Driving the knee down across the side of the face of Tyler Black.
A very confident smirk on the face of the former world champion. And he has this matchup in control at this point. European uppercut. And now it's Danielson talking a little smack.
And dishing out another smack. Oh, hard right across the face.
Yeah, Bryan Danielson is a difficult enough competitor when he's not angry. And Tyler Black is finding out what happens when you piss off Bryan Danielson.
Slingshot suplex. Right into a cover, but only gets two.
Black able to kick out. The leg was not hooked by Danielson, who now grabs the rear chin lock. Trying to slow Black down.
And now it is Dragon dictating the pace of the match. Didn't allow Tyler Black to really get under his skin in the early going. And finally, once he had the match in his control, he's a little bit more fired up. Gave it right back to Tyler Black, and now looking to wear this kid down. But he escapes, and
apparently Black didn't learn his lesson because he pie-faced him again.
Hard forearm from Dragon. An exchange from these two. Here comes Danielson. Want to hit the ropes, but Tyler Black just shoved him through the ropes and to the floor.
Follows him right outside as well. Drives him shoulder first into the barricade. Tyler Black looking to do damage on the floor. Snap suplex.
Bryan Danielson clutching his back after absorbing that maneuver on the floor.
The impact just jarred the spine. He's first to the ring apron. Leading him over the guardrail, going to the eyes.
Chop right across the chest.
Of course, Danielson had that detached retina surgery several months back, kept him out of action.
And hopefully Tyler Black won't continue to go to work on the eyes of Dragon. Trying to get some space between himself and Tyler Black. Firing away the midsection now. Reversal of the whip. And again, shoulder first into the barricade goes Danielson.
And the impact of Danielson hitting the guardrail separated it from the other portion of the guardrail it was connected to. And Danielson almost ended up in the front row.
Tyler Black staying right on him. Firing away now. It's the referee trying to reason with Tyler Black, telling him to bring it back inside the ring. Tyler up, standing on the barricade, moonsault!
Down across the chest of Dragon, putting his body on the line. Knows how important this matchup is.
Oh, he's trying to make the most of the opportunity to send a message against one of the icons of Ring of Honor in Bryan Danielson.
Now it's Black in control with Danielson struggling in the corner. Another slap to the face. Repeatedly slapping Bryan Danielson.
He's got him slumped in the corner. Another slap. And now a boot across the throat. Releases at the referee's count of 4.
Fans trying to get behind Danielson here as Tyler Black drags him back to his feet. Brings him out of the corner. Danielson hits the corner hard.
And again, slumped down in the opposite corner now. Tyler Black with the running drop kick to the side of the face. Pulled Danielson away from the ropes before going for that cover, but Dragon with enough to kick out.
And that impact stunned Danielson. So the look on his face after he got hit, but still was able to kick out.
As one arm trap now pulling on the chin. Just trying to take away the energy of the former ROH World Champion. He's back to his feet. Firing away in the midsection of Tyler Black. But Danielson eats the elbow. Black off the ropes. Good elevation on the knee drop. And right back to his feet he comes. Off the ropes yet again. And drives Danielson down, cover. But very cocky on Tyler Black's part, not hooking a leg. And Danielson's able to kick out.
This is the pace of the match that Tyler Black should keep it at. It's where he's most effective in his offense. A very quick, very rapid pace with high impact moves. And again, slapping Danielson in the face. Just out and out disrespect for Bryan Danielson by Tyler Black.
He should keep that quick pace going, but not necessarily slap or try to infuriate Bryan Danielson in the process.
That's exactly what's happening. He's not hurting Danielson. He's just getting fired up at this point.
More slaps, now a European uppercut from Danielson. And another. Just going to work on Tyler Black. Reversal of the whip, though. Danielson off the ropes. Through the legs he comes. And another European sends Tyler Black down.
Every time Tyler Black pushes the buttons of Bryan Danielson, it gets him to a point where he can't take it anymore, and Danielson just picks up the pace himself. Knee to the midsection catches him coming off the ropes. Hard kick between the shoulder blades.
Danielson now with a cover, hooking the leg, but Tyler gets his shoulder up. Again, Danielson being slow and methodical carefully choosing each maneuver, but there's a chin breaker from Tyler Black. Maybe Danielson taking a little too much time before following up. Gave Tyler Black that opening and that opportunity.
Hard chop to the chest after the shoulder block in the corner. Again, Dragon's on the receiving end, face first to the buckle. Sends him off. Dragon runs up and over, lands on his feet, hits the ropes, avoids the clothesline, drives the elbow. Dragon's getting fired up.
Round of applause from the fans in attendance. He's got Tyler Black stunned. Dragon to the top rope he comes. Missile drop kick connects.
And a nip up from Danielson as Black's out on the floor.
Danielson takes a chance, goes soaring through the ropes and wipes out Tyler Black on the floor.
Just that quickly, Tyler Black had everything going his way. And Bryan Danielson took all the momentum away, and now this match clearly in the favor of the American Dragon as Black struggles to his feet.
Danielson reaches through the ropes, grabs hold of Tyler Black, pulling him up on the apron, looking to suplex him back inside.
Black hanging on, trying to fight him off. Hooks the ropes and stops his momentum. Suplex to the floor.
Tyler still standing on the apron, looking down at Danielson, bringing himself back inside. A risk taken by Tyler Black, and it pays off for him as well. Wiping out Dragon on the floor.
Fans urging Danielson back to his feet, but it's Black up first and pitching him under the bottom rope.
Danielson struggling to get back up. Tyler waiting on the apron for the right moment to strike. Springboard, going for that lariat.
The wall of death, he calls it. Kick to the chest, cover.
Danielson able to kick out, but clutching his chest after that maneuver.
Obviously having problems breathing there. That kick right to the sternum.
Again, these fans here in Dayton encouraging Danielson to get back to his feet. Tyler Black with the forearm strike. Danielson back up, another slap from Tyler Black. Such disrespect shown throughout this match by Tyler Black.
Knife edge chop to the chest in the corner.
He's got Bryan Danielson, into the buckle he goes. Tyler getting prepared, fired up himself, charges into the boot from Dragon.
Took a little too much time and it cost him. Running kick out of the corner from Dragon. Right back to his feet. Has the arms, just stomping his head in.
Repeated stomps from Danielson. Cover. Tyler kicks out.
Give Black credit. Still has a lot of fight left in him, but might just be a matter of time. Dragon's trying to hook the arm. Looking for the chicken wing.
Tyler Black can feel it coming, trying to break free before Danielson can completely cinch the hold in.
Doesn't quite have it locked in. Elbows to the side of the head, frees himself.
Sunset flip. Leverage goes back and forth as they exchange near falls. Neither man able to get three. And both men collide in the center of the ring. And both men are down.
Yeah, both guys were on the same page as well. Whichever guy gets to his feet first is going to have a very clear-cut advantage.
Paul Turner checking on their condition while administering the double count.
Physical toll starting to show on both of these athletes. Slow to get to their feet. Both to a knee, and finally to their feet. Right hand from Black. Open hand shot from Dragon right back.
Another slap and a forearm off the ropes from both men. Neither going down. Roaring elbow from Danielson.
Well, that one dazed Black.
Goes for the full Nelson, but a roll up by Black. Only two. Almost had him right there.
Yeah, couldn't keep the shoulders down. Danielson was able to slip out just in the nick of time. And again, both men to their feet.
Going after the arms of Tyler Black. He feels cattle mutilation coming and trying to block the attempt, but Danielson bridges forward, and he's got it.
Black trying to fight his way free. Rolls to his back. Danielson still has the arms. Black on his feet. Drives him to the corners. Still unable to free himself. Danielson won't let go.
Trying to maintain control of the arms of Tyler Black, and he drives him chest first into the corner. Places Tyler Black on the top turnbuckle. Dueling chances. Danielson looking for that super belly-to-back suplex. Both men to the top. Belly-to-back superplex.
Oh, but it took its toll on Danielson as well. The impact jarred both of these athletes. Slow to go for the cover. Finally does. Hooks the leg. No!
Tyler with the shoulder up. And Danielson looking more determined than ever to try to finish him off here.
He's got the arm trapped. Elbows to the side of the head.
Repeated elbows from Bryan Danielson. The referee checking on Tyler Black. Can he stay in this match? Cover. Ooh, 2.5.
Again he kicked out.
Danielson now, cattle mutilation cinched in. He's got cattle mutilation. Will he be forced to tap out?
Oh, he's right in the center of the ring too. Danielson's got it locked.
Nowhere for Tyler Black to reach the ropes. He's not giving it up. Paul Turner checking on his condition again.
Still refuses to tap out. What is keeping this kid going?
A display of toughness from Tyler Black here. Danielson still controlling the arms of Tyler Black. Back to his feet he comes. Danielson, tiger suplex, but Tyler lands on his feet.
Oh, what a show of agility.
Connects with the kick right upside the head of Bryan Danielson.
Well, Danielson's eyes went glazed for a second there.
A great show of athleticism right there and precision with the kick to the back of the head by Tyler Black. Off the ropes he comes. Rolls him up, but no. Ooh, another kick to the head. Off the ropes he comes again. Big boot from Tyler Black.
Oh, he just turned him inside out. The paroxysm. Only two.
Dragon kicks out.
Black's going to the top.
Gonna take a big chance.